Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video, and we have an update for Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. It's reported that the Houston Texans have changed their stance on being willing now to listen to Deshaun Watson offers. So this is coming after Deshaun Watson showed up for camp, yesterday being Sunday. But he showed up, but he would not be fine, but he does not change his stance in terms of not wanting to be with the team, wanting to be traded. There's still the legal situation that's ongoing, in which it doesn't seem like that's going to resolve itself in the near future. So now at this point, the Houston Texans have finally reached a point to where they are open to listening to trades. And just going through this article here, let's see. Of course, he's entering year one of his 4-year, $156 million contract extension. He's 25 years old. He's been to 3 Pro Bowls in the 3 recent seasons. The only year that he hasn't made a Pro Bowl was his rookie year. But that's some of the positives in terms of he's 25 years old, 3-time Pro Bowler already. Already a top 5 quarterback in many people's opinion. But obviously, there's that civil lawsuit that he's facing against of the sexual misconduct against 23 women. One has since withdrawn litigation, and so the NFL has chosen not to put Watson on the commissioner's exempt list, which some of us thought would probably be a possibility. But they're gonna wait a while and see for some more details to come forth before they take any action. But obviously, those lawsuits, those will hurt the trade value for the Houston Texans in terms of what they could potentially get. Now, what does Houston really want? They want at least at the minimum 3 first-round picks. And you're talking about a franchise quarterback. So if you take legal situations aside, then yes, that's at least a good starting point is 3 first-round picks. He's 25 years old, so extremely young. So yeah, I expect that Houston's going to want a lot in return. Some teams that have been linked to Deshaun Watson have been teams such as the Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles, those two. Now, both of those teams, obviously they have young quarterbacks. Tua was taken in the first, Jalen was taken in the second. And so we'll see how that plays out. Now, both of those 2 teams, they make sense because they have the like draft picks coming up in the future that they can probably use to make Houston happy. Houston probably gonna have to settle for exactly 3 first-round picks, if not maybe less if this situation turns for the worse. But in terms of as of right now, I think 3 first-round picks is probably what it's going to take to get Deshaun Watson at this point because of those lawsuits. But with that being said, though, those 2 teams are 2 teams that make sense. I know the Broncos, they've been tied more so to Aaron Rodgers as of late, and I just believe that they would prefer, obviously, who wouldn't prefer, Aaron Rodgers in terms of, where he's at right now, but Deshaun Watson is just, in that same tier of conversation, in my opinion. But yeah, the Dolphins and the Eagles are 2 teams to keep an eye out for, as well as other teams, that if they're looking for a quarterback long term that may, want to investigate, do their homework, in which they should already be doing their homework if they're interested in Deshaun Watson. Because if you make a trade like this, you need to make sure that he's going to be available. Otherwise, yeah, that's not going to sit well with the fan base at all, and you're just going to find yourself in a whole bunch of answering questions you don't want to be answering at that time of the year or any time really. But with that being said, though, at least now we have an idea that, yeah, Houston, they're open to trading them now. They says that they've been open for some time now to trade offers, but now they're finally making it public. And the belief is that the price, for a high caliber player, is going to be pretty high. So it's going to take at least 3 first-round picks and more. So that's just, the groundwork, but they're going to be looking for more than just that. So we'll see how that works out moving forward. But yeah, that's one thing to keep an eye on, in terms of watching the Eagles and the Dolphins, particularly. It's those 2 teams. It would make a lot of sense as they do have the draft picks. Maybe they would include their young quarterback as part of that trade as well, whether we're talking Tua or Jalen Hurts. That remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, Watson is in control of the trade because of the fact that he does hold the no trade clause. So any trade that goes down is going to be something that he's going to have to sign off on. And so that makes things very difficult for the Houston Texans. But if you're Deshaun Watson, at least now we've got it out there that your team is willing to trade you. So let's see how this transpires, especially with camp on the way. And we start to teams actually start to see how these quarterbacks are looking out there during camp. And if they're like, oh man, this guy doesn't have it, then yeah, maybe the urgency might get bumped up to try to bring in someone like Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's not every day you get a quarterback this young and that good on the market. So let's see how things play out. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Really appreciate you guys and your support. Be sure to like and subscribe if you have not already. Best way to keep you up to date with news, such as this and other NFL related content, NBA content, and some college athletic sports as well. So with that being said, see you guys next time.